What do you want your offensive identity to be?
Physical. Again, I talked a little bit in the opening press conference about, the marriage between the run game and the action passes. But, as a football team, as an offense, we want to be physical. My MO has always been to run the football. I really believe that the game, like I said, is up front. Led the league twice, the coordinator, proud of that. I think getting a guy like Clayton Adams really helps us as the coordinator. His knowledge, I've been tracking him for a couple years now. He's an incredible mind when it comes to not just the run game, but just how to attack defenses and how to get favorable leverage and things like that. But physical is the first thing that kind of jumps out at me.
What's the running style of an ideal back that you would like to have in your scheme?
I think at the end of the day, you want contact balance is generally ends up being the number one thing that people look at is, can this guy get on the edges of defenders and keep his feet? And then the other thing that everybody's looking for is when you get a guy into the secondary, can he finish? And that's much more difficult to do in the NFL than it is in college football, but you see it. There's guys that they do get themselves into the secondary, and whether it's because they win with speed or it's because they win just by being really difficult to break down to get on the ground, guys have different ways of doing it, but you contact balance and having the ability to finish.
Hearing Schottenheimer talk about building a physical run game fires me up, because that's exactly what the Cowboys have been missing for years. It makes you wonder, if we could finally revive that tough physical identity, could this be the group that brings it back? This year, the running back position isn't just another piece of the puzzle, it's the heartbeat of what the Cowboys want to be. It's more than just racking up yards, it's about setting the tone, grinding out tough plays, and forcing defenses to respect the ground game again. Now, the entire offensive coaching tree is all in on this identity, but what exactly are they doing to build it? And to make sure this running back room reflects that toughness every Sunday. Let's start with Brian Schottenheimer. Stepping into his first season as a head coach, Brian brings with him a deep-rooted philosophy that stretches all the way back to his father, Marty Schottenheimer, and the legendary Marty ball approach. That style of football was all about physicality, controlling the line of scrimmage, pounding the rock, and wearing down opponents over 4 quarters. It's a philosophy that's practically in Brian's blood. While he's known for his adaptability across multiple NFL offenses, every team he's coached has carried that same undercurrent of toughness, especially in the ground game. Now, as the head coach of the Cowboys, Brian is looking to infuse those same values into every corner of this team. That means an offense that doesn't just run to keep defenses honest, but runs to impose its will. Every carry is about attitude, setting the tone that can make defenses think twice about stacking the box. It's no coincidence that Brian is aligning his vision with Clayton Adams, our offensive coordinator with an offensive line background, and Derek Foster, a coach who's built backs like Alvin Kamara and Austin Eckler into versatile, tough runners. Together, they're shaping a ground game that isn't just a strategy, but an identity, one that can bring the Cowboys back to their roots.
Schottenheimer's talked a lot, and Clayton Adams have also talked about the physicality they want to bring back to the running game.
Absolutely.
Does that excite you when you hear that? Like, we want to be physical?
Absolutely. I think it's a key part to running the football. I think you got to establish that at the line of scrimmage, and then I think everybody else has to follow that method. I think being a tough physical team and a smart football team, I think that's extremely important, especially when you're talking about running football.
And how about as a running back coach trying to marriage what you guys do in the running back room with the offensive line? Obviously, you got an OC who was an O-line coach, Connor Riley coming in. How do you guys kind of build that relationship now, while before the season even starts?
Yeah, I think it's all about connecting. You know what I mean? I think it's the connecting piece and building a relationship with one another and getting an opportunity to really learn about each other and the way we think, the way we operate, and really just building the relationships around that.
Think back to the Cowboys' golden years. Tony Dorsett slashing through defenses, Emmitt Smith racking up records, Marion Barbers making defenders regret tackling him. Those backs define what it means to wear the star. Relentless, physical, and unstoppable. From Zeke's historic rise to his immediate decline, and the inconsistent misusage of his tandem mate Tony Pollard, it's felt like we've lost that identity and proper respect for the running back position. That's why this year's stable of backs matter more than ever. It's about getting back to what made the Cowboys feared. Before we dive into each back, let's talk about the types of runners every team needs to be successful. As you know, not all running backs are created the same. There are 4 different archetypes of runners. Finding the right combination of these can create a backfield that's not just versatile, but lethal. Scat Backs. These are the home run hitters, the lightning bolts who thrive in space. They're quick, elusive, and can score from anywhere on the field. You'll see them catch screens, line up in the slot, or even take outside runs to the house. They're the backs who make defensive coordinators lose sleep because you never know when they'll turn a short gain into a 50-yard touchdown. Power backs. These are the bruisers who punish defenders, grind out tough yards, and set the tone physically. They thrive between the tackles, wearing down defenses with every carry. When it's 3rd and 1, these are the guys you want with the ball in their hands. They may not always break the big one, but they make every defender feel every tackle. Balance backs. These are the versatile runners who can do a little bit of everything. They can run inside and outside, catch passes out the backfield, and handle blocking duties on 3rd down. They may not excel in any one area, but their consistency and reliability make them invaluable, especially in a committee approach. Workhorses. These are the every down backs who can carry the load week after week. They can handle 20 or more carries a game, grind out tough yards, and keep the offense on schedule. They're durable, dependable, and the ones you build an offense around when you want to control the game's tempo and wear down defenses. Every championship team either has a combination of all these archetypes to form a lethal running back committee, or they'll find that one workhorse who can do it all to create the most efficient attack. And that's exactly what this Cowboys group is trying to figure out. Let's kick things off with Javonte Williams, the former Denver Bronco who brings burst and has some ability to run hard as well. He's that balanced style runner who can lower his shoulder and pick up the tough yards, but also has enough burst to hit the 2nd level when he sees daylight. Sometimes his vision can be inconsistent, leaving yards on the field that could have turned solid runs into chunk plays. There are still questions about his play from the injury 2 years ago when he tore all 4 ligaments in his knee. Many questions his ability to run in between the tackles is still there, and whether he can offer more than just blocking and catching out the backfield. Still, his bruising style and willingness to embrace contact fits perfectly with what Derek Foster wants: finish every run, make defenders play, and set the tone early. Williams is the early favorite to lead this group, and if he can put it all together, he could be the tone setter that this backfield has been missing. Next up, Jaydon Blue, the electric playmaker out of Texas. He's a classic scat back, lightning quick, elusive in space, and dangerous in the passing game. He's the type of guy who can take a swing pass or a jet sweep and be gone in the blink of an eye. He's not the kind of back you want banging it in between the tackles 20 times a game, but give him some space and watch him work. In college, his production jumped off the page. Over 1,100 yards and 18 touchdowns. His explosiveness is his calling card, and he's a mismatch nightmare for linebackers and safeties alike. But at times, he doesn't look like a natural runner of the football and feels more like a weapon than a true running back. His fumble problem is also something to pay close attention to. Ball security issues can be a killer, especially for a player in his role. If the Cowboys can find ways to get him the ball in space, screens, motions, mismatches, he can give this backfield the spark it's been missing. Then there's Mafah, the rookie out of Clemson. Mafah is categorized as a power back, but he's not necessarily the fall forward university type of runner that consistently grinds out tough yards every time he touches the ball. He's got the size and flashes of physicality, but sometimes he needs a head of steam to really finish a run with authority. At times, he struggles to consistently generate yards after contact if he doesn't hit the line with confidence. He's the kind of back who benefits from momentum, and he'll need to bring that consistently at the next level. There's a bit of a question mark around his injury history and how that might affect his development. And while he brings that physicality, his balance and footwork still needs refining to thrive in the pros. Still, if he can stay healthy and build on those flashes he's shown, he could become the reliable power balance option that gives the Cowboys committee the physical punch it's been missing. Mafah has the tools. It's about putting it all together at the next level. Next up, Miles Sanders, the veteran presence in this running back room. A lot of people see his size and think power back, But the truth is, he's more of a balanced runner with solid versatility. He's got decent hands out the backfield and experience in pass protection, which can't be overlooked in the committed approach. He's lost a step from his prime, but his experience and know-how can make him a steady presence in the group that features younger and more explosive guys. If he can stay healthy and embrace his complementary role, he could be the piece that ties his running back committee together, especially when the Cowboys need someone to do the little things right. Then there's Hunter Luepke, the Swiss Army knife of this offense. He's the kind of player every coach loves to have, part fullback, part H-back, and sometimes even lines up as tight end. He brings a versatility that makes him valuable in so many different situations. Lead blocking on short yardage plays, motioning across the formation, catching passes out the backfield, or even sneaking in a few carries himself. When he does get the ball, he runs with a purpose. He's physical and always looking to fall forward, and never shies away from contact. That's the kind of attitude that can wear down defenses even if he's not getting 15 carries a game. The real challenge for Luepke is his versatility might keep him from getting consistent touches. Coaches will need him to do a little bit of everything, and that means fewer opportunities to shine as a runner. But make no mistake, having a guy like him who can keep defenses guessing, line up anywhere, and do whatever's asked, that's a huge asset for the Cowboys. And if the Cowboys use him creatively, he can be the glue guy that helps this committee reach its full potential. And finally, Deuce Vaughn, the wild card of this running back committee. He's small in stature, but big on impact, with shiftiness that makes him a nightmare to tackle in space, whether it's on a screen pass, a draw, an option route, out the backfield. Vaughn has the kind of quickness that can turn a simple play into a highlight reel moment. He's the definition of a scat back with the kind of looseness and creativity that can give this offense a spark. But don't underestimate him. Despite his size, he's shown he can slip between the tackles and find lanes inside when given the opportunities. But let's be real, size is only going to be a question mark with him in the NFL level. Can he hold up against bigger and faster defenders? Will he be able to handle the physicality of a every down play? The preseason will be huge for him. He needs to show that he can handle the hits and that he's more than just a gadget player. But if he can bulk up just a bit and prove he can take on that role, he might just be the key to adding a new dimension to this Cowboys offense. This group has to work to be able to complement the offensive line and most of all, this philosophy. They'll be asked to do multiple things and will have a definite role in contributing to earning fear of opposing teams' defensive coordinators. I expect a preseason that will let us know for sure what their defined roles will be and how they'll be deployed. I also believe that there's some missing pieces from this roster that could help tie all this together and truly build a great running back stable. So let's see who steps up, who's going to emerge as the lead guy, the X factor, or that spark that ignites this offense and makes this backfield something to fear. If you love this video, Cowboy Nation, make sure to drop a comment down below. Let's talk Cowboys football. Let me know, who is your favorite back? What do you feel? Who's a back you want to add to this room? What are your expectations and how we can make the Cowboys run game great like it has been in the past history? Let's bring the ground game back so the Cowboys can run the damn ball. That's been my time, Cowboy Nation. Until next time. Peace.